Yeah, so I guess, I just thought it would be really great to talk to you because, ever since I joined the company, you've been with Florida Weekly. I don't know even how old that your company is, but I know you've been with our hometown since 2007.
Yeah,
So,
actually,
I mean,
yes, when Payson, Jeff and I, we started the company in '07, and
wow.
that's when we joined you guys. You were the first
Yeah,
vendor, as so to speak, and partner
right,
that
right.
we went with. So
Wow. Yeah. So, okay. So we go way back to the beginning of Florida Weekly and
the very first,
virtually yeah, pretty much the beginning of our hometown. We started a while before that, but I don't think we really had momentum until the early 2000s. And so you were definitely one of our biggest customers, and remain that way today. So I'm glad to hear that you guys sound really happy with the whole relationship. I
oh,
mean, this is just kind of be like a free form thing, if that's okay. Just like a
that's perfect. Yes.
general interview. Like, is there anything in general that you guys feel like we could be doing better for you,
Oh
like
gosh.
in terms of the
Yeah.
service?
No, but I mean, but how you guys have been so responsive on anything that any ideas that we come up with or anything that we
Hmm.
want to change. Uh,
Right,
you guys, like I say, that's why it's a partnership because you guys
right.
all of a sudden decide, oh, we can do that, or let's do some research, and you always get back to us. And now we're at the point now, 13 years later, and it's really developed into a really good partnership. And this is proof of it right here, what you guys been able to do in such a short amount of time. So,
Right. Yeah. So, okay, that's great. And I do want to talk about these changes. But one more just kind of general question. If you could you just describe from your perspective as a publisher, what is the process? Just because, like I said, I'll share this with our current customers, but I'd also, like to use it for marketing material, just to, share with new customers. Can you just kind of describe from your perspective the process for updating the website each week in terms of sending us the PDF and everything? How does that work for you?
oh, I mean, it couldn't get easier because really what we do is we send all of our PDFs to print, and then we just at that point we turn around and drag and drop them right onto your FTP site, and that's it. That's all we do. So I mean, it's just
Right.
that one extra little step for our production team just to drag them to your FTP. You guys get alerted, and then if we ever have anything special, we just send a little note saying, "Could you do this or update it at this time?" And then, like Terry is really great. She'll turn around and say, "We got it, and if we have any questions, we'll get back with you." I mean, within a minute. So you guys are really good with that. So, and it's just a real easy
Awesome.
process for us.
That's great. Yeah, and it sounds like, from what I'm seeing, it seems like every few months or a couple times a year, you guys are adding new papers. You just keep
Oh
expanding, and
yeah,
we've got several new ones this year. Ave Maria being the most recent
yeah.
one.
West
Um,
Villages, yeah.
West Villages we did. Babcock was a little while before that.
Yeah.
So Fort Myers, I guess, was the original. Was that the
The
first
original
paper?
was Fort Myers. Then it went to
Yeah.
Naples, then Charlotte,
Okay.
Bonita. Yeah.
So, bottom line, it just seems like it is a good fit, the partnership, because you guys have just cracked the code
Oh
on how to
yeah.
how to run a print edition. You know how to do it. You've got the model, and now you're just expanding throughout Florida, and then you can just hand off the final print product to us, and then we take care of the website.
Right, and we understand that how our readers are. There, I mean, it's digital. They want mobile, and
Right.
uh, and actually, we just got this new redesign, that we just did. We ended up moving the print edition uh, for our PDFs down at the bottom. So we've already got a couple little emails
Uh-huh.
from readers. So I know that they're reading it and they're picking it up. And
Right.
so scroll to the bottom to the left hand, we've ended up putting the print edition. Well, it's there, or it's on the bottom link too, where you can find it as well. So.
Oh, yes. Right. Right. Okay. Cool. So that's a perfect segue to the redesign.
Yeah.
So
And
let's talk a little bit about that. Um,
yeah, and you can see, like I say, with the new hamburger menu that we have to the left of the logo there, that makes
right.
that's mobile right there. I mean, and
Right.
people understand what that is. And we try to make it as clean as possible in the,
Right.
so,
Yeah.
and when you go to, like say, even at the top nav, we really clean
Right.
those up, to
Yes.
make it what's important, to our readers quickly.
Right.
The, it's not a lot coming at them. We've toned down
Right.
some of the headings, like the head articles were blue before, and it just looks more sophisticated this way and what
I
people,
agree.
so.
I love this. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to compare and contrast. So maybe we can
Yeah.
um, do a little bit of this in the post editing of this video. But I pulled this up from
Oh,
archive.org because I figured it'd be kind of cool to look kind of side by side. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, so this look, um, this was the look for years, I think, to have
Yes.
the logo right in the middle,
Yeah.
and scroll down and have that fixed navigation. So, I mean, functionally it's similar, but I mean, you really have taken it to a much more modern look, and this is, probably not the most mobile friendly hamburger
Right.
menu the way it was. So, like you said, you cleaned that up and got it looking like this: one column,
Hmm.
just the essentials, so they can jump around between the different editions of Florida Weekly really easily there.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you moved the e-edition sign up to the top. I noticed that was one change.
Yeah, because that's
Or sorry,
important.
the email.
Yeah, that's important because that is what we want our readers to do. We want them to sign up,
Right.
so we want them to sign up,
Yes.
what edition, and then that, you know, everyone starts getting that. And we made the
Beautiful.
ad, if you notice on the old site, there was
Uh-huh.
there was too many choices. You have the gray menu at the top, the light gray. You have
Right.
the home, which is too much. You had the marketplace. It's like, where do
Right.
we didn't want the reader to get
Hmm.
confused and then just, I don't know where and just leave the site. So we just made it easier for them, just to
Right.
pick where they want to go. So,
Oh, totally. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, I think simpler is better. That's what people like. If they get overwhelmed, yeah, they do tend to abandon a site. So, yeah, that is so much cleaner. And this, like I said, this really is the look now for sites, to have the logo on the left, have
mhm.
a nice, clean, fixed navigation that stays the same as we go down, rather
Yeah,
than the old look, which kind of was like, okay, let's the fixed navigation changes to keep the logo there. I mean, I like it just because of the simplicity. There's not so much motion, it's just like
exactly. That's exactly right. Yes.
the logo's there. Okay, a couple other changes from the old one. We had the search bar and the fixed nav, but then we put it over here on the right column.
Yeah.
And so, any comments on that? Was there? And
Well,
I'll definitely pick Pace's brain on this too. But
yeah. Well,
any
the way,
thoughts on the
from my
modules?
perspective of the search, most of the time when people go there to search, they're coming to the site from a search, if one thing, and then if they
Okay.
hear and read something, that's what we want them to get, involved into the paper. But usually searches are from, a lot of our editors use that. We use that as an archive system.
Right.
I mean, it's like
Right.
we can find anything from since 2007 on this. So
Right.
that so it's really more of our use, I think, and a lot of even PR firms like to do that search and find articles. So it's not
Okay.
really our readers, I don't think, that are searching that, or but
Right.
we put it
Right.
in an area that we thought it would, like say one of our editors and those people come in and look. So
That's great to hear. Yeah, I've heard that from many publishers actually, that they use it just as a tool in their operations. And if we looked at the stats, yeah, I mean it is being used by readers, I'm sure, but
yeah, but
probably more so than for the staff.
mhm. Oh
That's
yeah.
that's pretty
And
cool.
like I say, the archive
Okay.
system, that's worth its weight in gold right there. Archives for
Right.
going to find something.
Well, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I always tell folks. When and this is of course a free paper, and
Mhm.
so it's primarily supported with the advertising. But I always say for folks that have a paywall, that is one of the biggest values of it. For pricing subscriptions, just
Oh
having
yeah.
access to the archives,
Mhm.
that makes it worth more than the print edition. I would argue for a lot of them,
Right.
just because we do have decades worth of archives. Um, okay, so let's see. We talked about most of the design changes because I think when you go down the rest of the page, um, it's pretty similar there, like these two columns. It was mainly changes to the top, like
And
the
the
above
font.
the scroll. The
Yeah.
fonts? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because we went to more of it's of a web font. Um,
Right.
and that makes it more readable, or the readability is much better on screen with those web fonts because they're designed for, of course, online or digital, and it just a
Right.
cleaner look there. And it's like, um, we can, when you start getting to the Helvetica, we love Helvetica, we still have a lot of that, but those headlines really stand out better. It gives it a refreshed look. So
Right. Right. Yep. I definitely like that change. Yeah, and I wanted to follow up on that actually because I know Payson was seeing on his phone, and I can ask him about this directly, but we think that the whole flashing of the old font might have been a caching issue because I did see it one time on my phone, but I haven't been able to see it since. And
yeah,
I don't know if have you seen it? Because I think you were saying that it was
I
mainly
saw it
Payson's concern.
once, pretty
You
much
did
one.
too,
And I even told Payson, before we even sent emails to you, I said it's probably a cache because it's loading the
uh-huh.
font to your system, and then
Right?
once it's there, it'll be there. But he seemed
Right.
to have a couple more. It just kept happening to him on the main
Okay.
page. It
On the
says. So
on
that's
the
why.
main page.
Yeah,
Okay, on this page. Yeah, I definitely remember seeing it with
I think
this
that's what
text
he's.
right here.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but I haven't had any other person mention anything. But it could have. I don't know, like say you'd think it'd be cached by now, on his, but
Right.
I don't know if since that note forwarded what James he did a little research and he came up with the
Yep.
same conclusion. But
Right.
I forwarded that to Pace and I haven't heard back. So
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sure he's busy, and I got other things to follow up with him on, so I'll check in on that when we talk too. Um, okay, very cool. So changing fonts, changing the header. I mean, I love this. We feature your site as one of our favorite templates on our homepage, so we'll have to update those screenshots to get this new
oh, the new, yeah,
fixed navigation in there. I think it's a really cool option that other customers would like to try.
oh,
Um,
hmm,
okay, and then let's see. Let's talk a little bit, if you don't mind, about the COVID page
hmm,
because I I we talked with Payson and we heard him describe it. I would love to just hear, like, from your perspective as the creative director there. I mean, how has this gone for you in terms of working with our team and our responsiveness
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's the working with you guys is the best because it's just anytime we'll do screenshots like what we
right,
want. We'll just send you we'll work in either like a banner snack or we'll do a on in Photoshop, just do how we kind of want it
right,
to look. And then let's say
right,
you guys are real good about taking those and making it as close as possible with HTML. It looks great
right.
when you guys do it, and the response from like Terry and the team there has just been wonderful because I know that you get inundated with yeah. Oh, yes.
We yeah, sometimes, but man, I do want to highlight this for other publishers because this is super useful because this is something that it looks like you can pretty much whip this off in just a few minutes without really doing a super detailed mock-up, which can sometimes be a little bit like, I don't really want to, spend the time mocking this up. I'd love to just describe it either in words or in a simple graphic like this.
Well, see,
So,
if we were to do a complete mock-up of that, then we'd have to tell you what we changed. Then it gets,
right,
it's just
right,
a picture's worth 1,000 words to me. That's
yep,
and
yep.
I apologize, Terry. I know that all the she probably is like sees those in her sleep probably now.
Oh, no, not at all. Actually, the way that you do this is ideal. It really is. It works for anybody that's making the changes.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's coming from the creative side because all of us creative side have been on the other side of this, so we know what would make it easier.
right, right.
Yep.
Okay, so now I want to highlight like exactly how you do this. So are you on a Mac when you design
I'm
this
on
stuff or PC?
I'm on
Okay,
a Mac, and here's what I do is to make it see all that gray around there.
right.
Uh, that's actually one, two, three screenshots. You see the little screenshot at the top, it's right there at
Yep.
the
Go
bottom.
ahead.
Yeah. So I do,
Okay.
like I say, for this one, I did three screenshots. And
Okay.
what I'll do is open them all in Photoshop and
Okay.
position them just like you see it on the screen. I just move my, drag each one separately, put them in the area, and then
Right.
drag a lot of pasteboard is what they call that gray area on the side. And then I do a
Okay.
screenshot of that. Then I open that
Ah,
Photoshop. And then so now I've got all that pasteboard to work on and write on so it doesn't look too confusing. I don't want it to look overwhelming and try to as well. So,
sure, sure. Yeah.
and,
I mean, I
and
couldn't.
then just do one layer with
Right.
marks. And then the text layer, of course, is just every little layer is a text file. So just keep duplicating that and then changing the text. So,
Right. Right. Yes. This is very good. I can't think of a better way to represent all these changes in one image. So I love the idea of pulling together multiple screenshots into Photoshop, adding a layer, using the text to write rather than trying to write with your cursor or something.
yeah,
That makes
I've
it
done
really clear.
that.
Yeah, that I mean it works, but I think this
It
is even
works.
easier for everyone. And then just highlighting in red the changes, and yeah, and then we just follow up with questions. But I think sometimes it does seem like I noticed in some of the tickets there's back and forth, and I hope it's like it feels like it's efficient for you, like
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I you guys you just seem to have such a clear picture of what you want, and so it's really great. I mean, I love how there's just a bunch of short emails back and forth, and it's just like carving a statue or something. You're just like, oh, just like get the font like this, move the hamburger menu, remove it from mobile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's a great starting point when the publisher knows exactly what they want, and then it's
Yes.
just the execution is there.
Well,
When you can just kind of feel comfortable with, and explaining to us, and feel like that you're understood in just as few words as possible, so you don't have to like go into a lot of detail.
Right. And then let's say Payson comes up with an idea. He said he wants, more mobile friendly, wants this. He comes up with what the vision of like what he wants on the page. And then that's where the creative director has to know for
Make it
sure what
happen.
he's talking about. And then I
Right.
just make it look good, try to make it look good, And then
Right.
I think having that publisher creative person, that relationship so strong to know what each other's talking about before even bring you in on it, because that
Right.
gets confusing, so
Right, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like a meeting of the minds on your side, so that and then you're kind of the one that executes and works on the details with the staff. But Payson still, he does jump in on some of the fine details sometimes. But that's most of the time it's like 99% of it is handled between you and our staff.
yeah.
So
And then the
okay.
best way for publishers, I think, or anyone to, communicate with you guys is to put it in steps and, like just
Mm,
1, 2, 3. Because you know what? You're looking at someone that is, they don't want to read a paragraph. You just want the bullet
mm,
points just to
right,
know what to do. Then they can follow those steps, because if you just write a whole list, things don't get missed. And then there's going to be a lot more back and forth. That's, it's got to be clear from the publisher side, for you guys to
right.
write. So,
An added benefit to having a list is different people can take care of different things too.
oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Yeah. So as you've seen, like when you send an email to ops, it can get picked up either by Jack, Terry, Rachel, James. It depends, And we're always going to try to do it as fast as possible with the right person. So if it's a design thing, usually he's going to go to Jack. But maybe Rachel is available now, so we'll give it to her.
Oh,
We're working on that. Yeah, I really think we are in a good flow here after 13 years of working together.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then I can tell, like, Terry is like the trafficker. She can make sure that
yeah,
it goes to the right person. And I can see on your guys how efficient it's becoming. It's all about the efficiencies, I think, too.
right. Yeah, this ticketing system, we didn't have that for years, and then we added it. I mean, we used to have you would contact the production person, but it would just go to their email. And now everyone can see everything going to ops. And I think that has made it a lot more efficient. I appreciate that feedback very
Oh,
much.
and a question for you guys then. I know that you have the ticket. We had that link to where we log in and create a ticket.
Hmm.
Is this the same thing, or would you rather us do that, or just send it to ops like we've been doing, or?
Oh, no, do whatever. You can totally send to ops because that will create a ticket automatically.
Got it. Okay.
So you are creating a ticket by writing email. And I do that myself, Jim. I
Okay.
mean,
Because
I
sometimes
don't,
I don't
yeah.
want to. Feel like I'm kind of jumping around but we've just been doing the emails back and forth instead of logging into the site, which makes it a lot
Right.
easier on our sides. That.
Right. No, whatever's easiest for you. But yeah, I have noticed sometimes. Well, here's the thing: as long as you're replying, if you send an email to ops and then you get an email back, and as long as you're replying to that original email thread, it's all going to be in one ticket for us.
Yes.
Okay. But if you do create a new email, that creates a new ticket. And, that's not a big deal at all. It's just sometimes a little bit better to keep it in the same thread, just so that things don't get lost. But that's really not a problem.
I could see
So,
that. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I never log into the ticket system. I just write emails whenever I need something done. And I think that's easier if we can just make it work with email.
Good. Yeah.
So that works for us. Um, okay. And so overall, you feel happy with the final product of the redesign?
Yes.
No other changes here?
And see, because my biggest thing is like the design side, and then when it, that's why I know I was tweaking a lot back and forth with like I need a little more space between the headliner and the stories. But I think once now that it's done, it just gives that little bit of air around those stories. And then,
Okay, yeah, let's go to the story page. Whoops, that's that page. Yeah, man, I love that you guys, like I said, know exactly what you want, and
yeah,
these little things, they really make a difference,
so
when you have the spacing is not enough and it feels cluttered. I
that's
think
where,
the odd
mhm.
what's that?
I said that's exactly right. You have to have the air around there to give the eye
Right,
break. It's all a design thing at this point. Then,
right. Right. And I think the audience, even though they're not designers and they probably can't say, when they see a cluttered site that doesn't have the air, they probably can't put their finger on exactly what is wrong with it, but they just, there's something that they feel unease looking at the site.
yes,
So
I
absolutely.
think
it's a
people,
subconscious thing.
yeah, I think people automatically have like a T-square in their heads, that it's the subconscious
Right.
thing. I'll be honest, Jim, when you asked us to line up the free email edition sign up button with the little man,
Oh yeah,
I was like, what? I don't see it. And then as I looked closer, it stood
yes.
out. And when it was fixed, it just made so much more sense.
It just gives
Well,
me,
it just fit. It felt better. So I know what you're saying with, things feeling right and having that air and that just the proportions and everything squared up. It makes a huge
yeah,
difference.
and that really just lining those up, those three little elements there with
Yeah,
the horizontally there, it just made it calm. Yes,
exactly.
Right. Yep. We want to have a calming presence.
yes.
We want it to be clean and easy to read. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I mean, those are the main things I wanted to talk about with you, Jim. Terry, did you have any other questions for Jim right now?
Oh
I know you
no,
had to jump off the call.
yeah,
Um,
I missed quite a bit, but
Jim,
no,
let me ask you this. Actually, I do have a quick question. So are these this is AdSense here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then we've got this week's circulars. So
Yeah,
we've got
that's
a bunch of third
Nativo or
flip.
whatever that is. Yes. Oh, Flip. Oh, yeah, that's that. Yep.
There's flip, and then I can't.
I don't see one on there. I know that's the Nativo I'm thinking about, but maybe that's not on there right now.
Right, it might not be on that. I'm pretty sure I saw it over
Fort Myers.
on.
Usually it's on Fort Myers, or you saw in Palm Beach, or that is Fort Myers.
Yeah, I was just on Fort Myers, but I know when I was browsing around earlier, I saw um there was like another. Oh, here,
There,
sponsored content.
yes. Uh-huh.
So what is this? Is this also AdSense or is this that other
That
third
is
party?
that Nativo.
It
It's
is. Okay.
yeah, that one is that I think that you put that in there for us.
Right.
Uh,
Yes. This has been here
yeah,
for a little while. And here's another one.
yeah,
So,
they pop
okay.
in every once in a while.
So you've got, how does this work? If I click on this, it's going to go to a third party site. So basically they're
Yes.
paying you to put these articles on here.
Yeah, only if, let's say, you click or I think or something like that. Yeah.
If it's clicked. Okay. So you've brought together three different ad networks
Three.
and,
Yes.
okay. Do you think, I don't know if you have any recollection of like the early conversations with them, but I mean, I know your sites get a lot of traffic. So AdSense is obviously like, you can pretty much put AdSense on any site, no matter how small, and
Right.
they'll let you do it. I mean, do you think there was any like minimum requirement to use this service? Because I'm wondering if we can recommend this to our customers.
For which one now? The
For the Nativo. Yeah.
You know what? I don't. It was real easy to put together. I remember that working with them and us, still get some updates from them. But
Okay.
actually, I'm not sure on the how many are clicked, or Payson could probably tell you more on that part.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No, that sounds good.
I'm not sure on that one.
Right. Yeah. I'll see what he says on that. Just because we're always looking for new ideas to put in that weekly newsletter. By the way, do you get our newsletters every week?
Yes, I'm getting like the
Okay.
This last one was, or there's one with the email, or I forgot. Yes, that I have been getting those. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure you're seeing them. I always ask that. All right, very cool. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate you sitting down with us and kind of doing this little post redesign interview. And I really appreciate all your kind words, man. It's great working with you guys.
Hey, I tell you, I said I appreciate you guys. I mean, it's like what you guys did in a week is, it's like this is what months, it should be. So
Right. Well, good. Yeah. Well, you guys are very important to us, so we're happy to keep you happy and cutting edge. So, as things evolve over the next few months, don't hesitate to reach out if there's any more changes. I think the next priority is probably the apps in Payson's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an update for him on that, and we're going to check in and touch base probably next week. But sounds good, man. Really looking forward to moving forward with you guys. And yeah, like I said, just give us a call or shoot us an email if anything else comes up, okay?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you both. Nice talking to you too.
You too.
Likewise.
Yeah.